Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn to navigate the UC Client application in Inform Voice. I have the client application already open here. This application is for Beth Davidson, who has a desktop terminal assigned to her. We already saw when we installed this UC client how to add contacts to the default contact list, which is shown here on screen. But I will show you that there is a way to add more lists. So the user can navigate through lists and better organize his or her contacts. So I created a marketing list and I can search for particular people, or I can even use predefined lists again. So this is what I'm going to use for simplicity. So I'm adding on a different list called marketing those two users. Let's say that now Beth Davidson wants to communicate with Pat Timmons. So she has different choices, but let's use the chat. So I can open up my chat windows. And as you see, I was already playing a little bit with the feature. So if I'm try to communicate with Pat. So I said, hello, Pat, again. So now Pat on her client, which is on a different computer here, Pat receives a pop-up message over here, and she gets the chat windows as well. And now this is reflected in Beth Davidson's chat. Now, Beth Davidson can now add a person to a group chat. So, okay, so now the one-on-one chat ends up being a group chat. So she can look for another user to add, let's say Kate Davis. So now we are in a group. So now everybody can see the messages of each other. Now, there is a specific tab that shows all the group chats, chats where the user belongs to, and group chats created by the user. So Beth can move between group chats if she wants to. So let's close this session. She can also manipulate this, and she can kind of delete all the groups, can remove people from the group. Let's see what Beth can do in terms of modifying the way the client looks like. So we want to open up the preferences with the gearbox here. And Beth has several options. As we saw already that Beth can change her picture. She can take a picture from a camera if available. Beth can add location information and a message for others to see. Beth can display the contacts list in different ways. If the list is long, maybe the default way, which is list, is not suitable, but we can use a grid where the contacts are distributed on a grid, or even a compact grid where the users are shown just by the name and the status. Okay. Hmm. Let's return to the list. Hmm. Now the list can be sorted in different ways, can be presented by different ways, but last name or first name. There is a inactivity timeout for when Beth is not doing anything on her computer for a certain time. The system puts the user in away mode. Mm. And also there are themes. Now we are showing the black theme, but well, you can see there is a blue theme and there is even a white theme. So there are different ways to play with the settings. Now, other settings are alerts. So if I want to play a sound on the computer where a call comes in, where an instant message comes in, and I can do so. If I'm presenting, I don't want to be disturbed, so I can turn off the notifications for a specific period of time. Mm. Then we have an item called Quick Set Profile. This Quick Set Profile um, is being shown over here, if you can see it. Mm. This Quick Set Profile lets the user quickly change her status, which she can change. Mm. Because not only we can see others' status, we can change our own status. Mm. So I can change the status, and I can use a different active device depending on the circumstances. So I can quickly create a new profile, say profile vacation. So now I can appear offline, or I out of the office. I'm out of the office, and I won't offer anything. So the offering means that the device that being offered will ring. So I don't want anybody to ring because I'm on vacation. So I can now save the profile, and I can quickly change the profile from default to vacation. I do have preferences in terms of the offering. This is more relevant when we have multiple devices, mm, which we will have when we add a soft media phone to this implementation. Mm. And at that time, I can explain uh, this screen. For now, we have only one station, which we might want to ring when we are available. And finally, we have a forwarding setting, which is very, very interesting because when we have just the terminal, the only forwarding that can be done is through an access code. And the only thing is to specify a specific destination for the forwarding. Mm. But using the UC client, the user has the ability to create a much more elaborate way to forward calls. Mm. So at this time, there are no preferences created, so I will create a new one. Mm. So I can, let's say, forward to somebody. Let's forward to Chicago, Las Vegas operator, Bonnie Jackson. Okay, so I will forward my call to Bonnie Jackson and after 4 rings. Okay. Okay, so now I have my forwarding set, but now I can actually change more things. I can change the schedule. I'm creating a whole profile. So I can forward based on day and time. Mm? And I can forward for a specific time period. Mm? So, like the same thing we do with the emails when we forward the email or we do an out of the office for a certain amount of time. I can do it with a forwarding. Mm? Now, in terms of forwarding, I can forward by no answer, which would be this example, but I can forward immediately. Mm? I can forward based on the type of call, the origin of the call. I can forward all calls. I can forward just the internal or the external call, calls with a specific caller ID, calls except a specific caller ID. And I can even forward based on my own presence. So there's really, really a good way to forward calls when we use the UC client to do it. Finally, regarding forwarding, we know that stations can have multiple extensions tied to it, and one of the extensions that can be tied are the group extensions, so that we call department groups. Mm. So, and in case of department groups or hunting groups, we can define an owner of that group. Mm. Let's look at quickly in the IFV administrator to remind that feature because it's interesting. So we created, what is this? A marketing group for Las Vegas that has two stations, Beth Davidson and Pat Timmons, and Beth Davidson happens to be the owner. So if we look at Beth Davidson here, for example, here, we see that Beth Davidson is the owner. When Beth Davidson is owner, now Beth Davidson can change the forwarding profile of the group extension. And this is what we see here in address forwarding profiles. We will see all the extensions that this particular user has tied to it, tied to the station as owner. So this is how the user can modify the forwarding capabilities of a group pilot. So we went through a good deal of information on the UC client. We can look for a little more. There is a history tab. So whenever we make or receive calls, we can see them at the history. And there's a way to search for contacts in a specific search button, or we can search directly here in the search bar at any moment. How about calls? What happens when Beth receives a call, for example? Okay, let's make it. So Beth received a call, and now you could see a pop-up window with the information of who is calling and the buttons that allow the user to quickly take action. And now Beth is on a call, and we can see that we see here buttons to manipulate the call. We can put the call on hold. We can even transfer the call to somewhere else. We don't have anybody else to transfer to, but we can select somebody here and initiate the transfer. If the transfer is set to be blind by default, I can uh, override this at this time and make it a supervised transfer by using this button. Hmm? So this is how you can manipulate calls through the UC client. If there are more features assigned to the UC client, like multiple extensions or like call recording, you will see more buttons in this place where you can uh, take the specific action depending on the feature. If you get a call but you don't answer, you can reject it here. And you can see on your call history of the calls that you received here, all the calls that you received and you didn't answer, or if you want to see all calls, you can see them through the call history. Particularly here is already filtered by calls not being answered, but I can see all calls in the last 7 days, and I can see absolutely everything. Finally, I can mention that we can set the user to do not disturb with this button here. I can set the do not disturb for the user or just for the group address when Beth doesn't want to receive calls directed to the marketing pilot, but she wants to be available to other type of calls, she can do so. Mm. Well, there is a lot more to learn about the UC client, especially when we add a soft media phone to it. That would be our next step. But this will be a matter of another video. So I thank you and see you on the next one.